All right, and welcome back to The Lead Word. This is your host, Trey Dalbert, along with me, as always, Chad Bauman. Today, we are recording this currently at Tuesday, September 17th, 10:30 at night. Chad, as always, we're going to go over Week 2 takeaways. What's going on today?
Nothing much. Today was my first day back at work since I came back from vacation. Really trying hard not to kill myself after going 0-3 this weekend. I got three teams that I follow: the Eagles, my fantasy team, and whatever team beats the Cowboys.
Rough week for you that way. Not much for me, just doing work, constantly. Let's get right into it, Chad. I guess I'll start this out. I have 3 takeaways this week. Number 1, I want to start here. Chad, I don't know why people don't understand this, but it happens every year. And you can basically just, pick a couple teams out of a hat. Every year, 4 new teams make the playoffs every year. It's never the same teams from the year before. You got to pick at least 4 teams that didn't make the playoffs last year that will make the playoffs this year. I'm going to tell you one that I firmly believe they're a playoff team. Nobody circles the wagons, Chad, like the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are not just 2-0. They're 2-0 on the road. The Buffalo Bills are not just 2-0. The Buffalo Bills are 2-0 in MetLife Stadium. The Jets have played 2 games at home. The Giants have played 1 game at home. Neither of them have won at MetLife Stadium. The Buffalo Bills have won 2 games in MetLife Stadium. Josh Allen currently owns the city of New York. Josh Allen currently owns the state of New York.
Who's your daddy now?
This team's making the playoffs, Chad, and I'm going to tell you why. Number 1, this is a good defense. They got really good secondary. Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Levi Wallace. It's a pretty good secondary. They got a good defense. Ed Oliver's good. They got some pass rushers. Lorenzo Alexander's good. This is a good defense. Josh Allen's better. He's completing 64% of his throws. Great. He's already a great athlete. Great. The receivers are better. Smokey John Brown's in. Cole Beasley's in. Zay Jones, hopefully he gets better. The receivers are better. The running back's better. Devin Singletary's better. This is a pretty good roster. They're a good team. They're 2-0. They're 2-0 on the road. Easy schedule. Chad, this team's making the playoffs.
It's still a no for me. I'll tell you why.
All right.
Look, don't get me wrong. Yeah, the Bills defense, we've said it before, they've got a pretty good defense. I'm not mad at their defense. Never have been. I don't know about the future. I'm not going to say I never will be. But the problem is their offense. I don't see it from Josh Allen.
They are who we thought they were.
Yeah, he torched the Giants. Who's not going to torch the Giants? He's got to play the Redskins, who have a pretty good defense. The Cowboys have a pretty good defense. They're playing the NFC East. Yeah, they got away with a good big one against the Giants. I was thinking the same thing, watching them win that second half, that Buffalo's the king of the state of New York. I was thinking that same thing. I'm not sold on their offense. Half the game, all Josh Allen did was throw to Cole Beasley. And I like Cole Beasley. He seems like a nice guy. But he's not doing it for me. He's not going to win you ball games throwing nothing but passes to Cole Beasley. And I don't think their running game, it's not bad, but I don't think it's good enough to stand up and take pressure off of Josh Allen when they're facing playoff teams.
All right, let's walk through this, right? New England's going to win the AFC East. We don't know who's going to win the AFC North, but somebody will win the AFC North. AFC South, probably Houston. AFC West, probably Kansas City. Maybe one wildcard team's the Chargers. Maybe, right? That leaves you with a group of Buffalo, Miami, the Jets, Cleveland, Pittsburgh without Big Ben, the Bengals, Colts with Brissett, Mariota and the Titans, Gardner Minshew, Derek Carr, and Joe Flacco for the last spot, right? Why can't Buffalo be that team? Let's take a look at some of the teams they're going to play, right? Because we already established, look, is Flacco's going to get that spot? Who's going to get – Derek Carr's going to get that spot? Because one of them probably goes to the Chargers. The Browns are a mess. Big Ben's out. I mean, it's bad. The rest of the divisions in the AFC are bad. Next, they play Cincinnati. They should win that one, right? That's 3-0. They got 2 games with the Dolphins. That's 5 wins right there. You got another one with the Jets. I don't know about Sam Darnold. Maybe he'll be back. Maybe he won't be back. But let's say you get 6 wins there. They'll probably lose to the Patriots. Fine. They have a string of games where they can beat Tennessee. They can beat the Redskins. They can beat the Browns. They can beat the Broncos. Maybe they steal one from the Ravens or Cowboys. They play Pittsburgh without Big Ben. They can't win 2, 3, 4 of those games? Really? They can't go 9-7, 10-6, and get a wild card spot?
I mean, it's possible. I just don't think it's going to happen. I'm not seeing it. I think you're short selling the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys, but I don't see them losing to Buffalo.
But let me ask you this. Who's getting that spot in the playoffs in the AFC? Who's getting it? If it's not Buffalo, who's getting it?
The season is still early. I mean, I
know.
I have to see what's going on with Kyle Rudolph. He looked good coming in. I'm not going to lie. He looked good coming in for the Steelers on Sunday.
He did, but Miami's not getting in. The Jet season's over. All right, one of the teams in the AFC North, we're talking about Mason Rudolph and the Steelers, they're already 0-2. They could be done. We don't know.
I mean, they could be. Baltimore started out 2-0. Cleveland's 1-1. If somehow, I mean, Baltimore, what's their schedule like? I don't think they have that hard of a schedule, do they?
Well, next week they get Kansas City.
Okay, yeah, that's a tough one, obviously.
Then it's a bunch of Browns, Browns, Steelers, Bengals. They're obviously going to play the divisions, but the schedule's hard. They have Seattle, New England, Houston, the Rams, 49ers. That's a lot of bad games right there. They also do play Buffalo, but the games that aren't in division that are left on the schedule: Seattle, New England, Houston, LA Rams, San Francisco 49ers. That's not easy.
I mean, it's not. I mean, Cleveland being in the same division, they're going to have a similarly tough schedule. I mean, we'll see. I mean, there could be two playoff teams in the NFC North. I mean, hey, this Lamar Jackson thing, the defense is working well enough for them to pull out some wins. I mean, obviously, again, they played Miami and Cincinnati the first 2 games. Or no, they didn't play Cincinnati. Who'd they play?
Arizona. They played the team that'll have the first pick in the draft this year and the one that just had it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They played the Cardinals. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
It's still a young season. I'm not closing the door on Buffalo. I'm just saying I have to see more from them. I have to see more from the rest of the AFC. I mean, it's tough to judge the AFC because you never know. You got AFC teams playing AFC teams. You don't know who's going to end up not sucking because the whole division kind of sucks.
You suck.
The AFC's bad.
Or
I think that's what
sucks.
The whole AFC's bad. I think that's what we're forgetting. It's New England, Kansas City, and everyone else just meh.
Anything else? Your Buffalo love there, Trey?
No, that's it. Oh, one last thing. Let's give. I know he's not like elite yet, but like Josh Allen's not bad. He's really not.
Oh, I never said he was. I'm a big fan of Josh Allen in the draft.
But I'm saying like a lot of people are acting like Josh Allen, this guy sucks. I don't think he's bad. He looks pretty good. I mean, he's not the most accurate guy in the world all the time, but he's got a fucking cannon. And something about him and Buffalo, when that weather gets bad, it's hard to throw the ball at Buffalo. There might be something to it.
Yeah, he might be the perfect quarterback up for Buffalo.
Yeah.
Coming out of Wyoming, he's used to it. It's tough though, just because again, we have last year he got injured. Sample size is small.
Yeah.
I mean, so far this year, he played the Jets, they do have a good defense, but outside of the 2-minute drill, he didn't get anything going.
They had 0 points when C.J. Mosley was in the game, and then ran off 17 when C.J. Mosley got hurt.
Right. And then after playing that Jets game, you got you beat up on the Giants. So I mean, it's a small sample size. Yeah, he played well within that small sample size, but I mean, those teams, they're not they're not world beaters. I'm not sitting there. I'm not ready to throw him a parade because he beat the Giants in MetLife.
At some point, we're going to look at the Bills' record and say, well, they're not that bad. Because they play Cincinnati next week, and they should win that one.
They definitely should. If they win it, then we'll have to see, but they should. Are they in Cincinnati or are they in Buffalo? You never know. They might just be road warriors. What if they can't get it done at home?
They're in Buffalo.
Oh, what if they can't get it done at home? They're so used to being on the road. Now they go home, and it's like, shit, fuck do we do?
Maybe. All right, Chad. Go ahead. Takeaway number 1 for you.
Okay.
Actually, before you start, first, check out the website, of course, vendettasportsmedia.com. We have a lot of things going on. We have 12 members. Things are looking up. We're on the rise. So, vendettasportsmedia.com. Of course, give Chad a follow at lowfooted LLFWOTED and me a follow at Trey Daubert. All right, Chad, take it away.
All right. So, I know I talked about him last week. I know you're probably going to be like, oh, this guy's fucking at it again. But look, I got a platform and I'm going to use it, and I need to vent because of I'm tired of it. This isn't really as much about the Eagles as it is about things that I've been seeing and hearing. I listen to a lot of Philly sports talk radio. Obviously, I live in the Philly area. The Eagles are my favorite team, so I'm going to listen to their radio station because I want to keep up to date with the Eagles. I want to be 24/7 birds here. You feel me? Obviously, on Facebook, I see people posting stuff about the Eagles because I live in a community where either you're an Eagles fan or because you live around Eagles fans, you're an Eagles hater for no reason other than, well, people make fun of me because my team. Well, that's because you're a fucking Dallas fan and you live in New Jersey, dickhead.
That's nasty.
So, just say that. First thing I need to address, I saw stuff on Facebook. People are criticizing Doug Peterson for not running the ball more against Atlanta. All right, first of all, you do realize that our two starting wide receivers were injured. Knocked out of the game. Who the fuck are you throwing to? Or who are you going to run you have to throw the ball because the Falcons know that you're not going to run it. Or if you do run it, you can't run it successfully. The Falcons were daring us to beat them with J.J. Arcega-Whiteside and Mac Hollins. How'd that work out? Fucking didn't. If you go back and watch that game tape, the Falcons had fucking 9 guys in the box at all time. Who's running against that? Stuffed. Every play, they got stuffed because there's 9 guys in the box. So this stupid shit where people are yelling at Doug for not running the ball more. Grow up. You don't know anything about fucking football. Run against a 9-man box. Second, listening on the radio, people calling in, fucking criticizing Carson Wentz for playing badly. What did you want him to do? He's throwing to fucking J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. What do you want him to do? The guy took a fucking beating. He played half the game from his back. The one pass that he made where he's getting sacked and he's on his knees, that shit, I'm surprised he didn't dislocate his patellas. He's a defensive tackle landed on the back of his kneecap. and you're criticizing him because he's not playing well. The offensive line, Wentz must owe them money because they weren't trying to help him at all. It felt like.
Well, all right, Chad. Let me ask you this because I know this is a weekly thing for you. You need to get it off your chest. You need to do your thing. And I'll let you go. But again, I picked Atlanta this week because early season Falcons are tough. At home for season openers in Atlanta, the Falcons are 11-1 in their last 12. This team's dangerous in the early portion of the season for starters. And then number two, this team was just embarrassed by the Vikings. This team went into Minnesota and totally got their ass kicked. And we know in football, you get your ass kicked one week, the next week, it's sort of like, okay, we got to get this turned around. It's time to get fired up. Like, to me, this was a big trap game. One, you're in Atlanta, and number two, like, the Falcons just got their ass kicked. And this is a team, like, they think they're pretty good. It's not like it's later in the season and they're done. This team, they probably think they're a playoff team. To me, it was a big trap game. It really was.
I don't consider it a trap game for the simple fact that the only reason why we lost this game is because it was a fucking funeral for my team. Oh, boo-hoo. Everyone got fucking injured. Surprise, surprise, Jason Peters went down. Timmy Jernigan out for a month. Broke his foot.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he's not going to need surgery. Darby's not physically hurt that I know of, but his pride certainly is.
He looked bad.
He got beat like he stole something. Jesus Christ. I wanted to give him a fucking hug. I was like, shit.
Let me say this too. I know we're all caught up on win, loss. You know, if they start Julio on the fourth down play, we're not even talking about all this. We're not. If Nelson Aguilar catches one pass, we're not talking about any of this. You know what I mean? So, one play, are we really going to, like, I know the injury bug and there's things that bother you and this and that, but, like, if Philadelphia wins this game, Julio Jones doesn't come up with the fourth down play, you're happy as could be right now. Nelson Aguilar catches one ball, and you're happy as could be today.
Well, look, my point here isn't that I'm not happy. Like I said, I'm defending the Eagles right now. Yeah. I mean, obviously, it fucking sucks to lose the way they did. I mean, what are you gonna do? Like you said, that play to Julio on fourth down, that was a fucking hell of a call by, Dirk Cutter.
Oh,
he just lost that guy just got fucking fired. You kidding me? You expect Dirk Cutter to come up with that on 4th and 1?
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
That was just the perfect play call. They caught us with our pants down. And again, like you said, Nelly catches that ball on the sideline. He gets a fucking touch. He walks into the end zone. It sucks. I'm mad about that. What my thing here is people overreacting about Carson Wentz having a bad game where he didn't have anybody to fucking throw to. He had no help in that game.
I want to bring up one thing. And I mentioned this last week, but this is now back-to-back weeks. Miles Sanders, 10 carries, 28 yards, 2.8 yards a carry. This guy was drafted and hyped up to be your starting running back. He can't average 2.8 yards a carry. It can't happen.
They had 9 guys in the box at all times.
I know. I'm just saying.
I'm surprised he got 2.
I'm just saying. It's time for Miles Sanders to just like, hey, let's break one. Let's do something. Even in the passing game, 3 catches, 9 yards, meh. I want to see him break something. Because so far in 2 weeks, he's done basically nothing except for a called back penalty, which didn't count.
Is this your game? Huh?
Look, you keep telling me Miles Sanders stats. What did the other running backs do?
Well, nothing.
Exactly.
That's why he needs to do something. Because nobody else is. They keep telling me how great this Miles Sanders is each week. He does nothing.
the running backs weren't going to do anything in this game. Again,
All right.
it's a 9-man box you're running against. I'm not worried about Miles Sanders. That's going to fix itself eventually once we get some receivers back because Deshaun's out for the next 2 weeks. And
did they even say how long Jeffrey's out? Did I miss that?
I don't know how long he's out. I know he's going to miss. He's supposed to miss next week.
Oh, I'll tell you this right now. If you don't pick up Aguilar in your fantasy team, you're nuts.
I got to be judicious with my moves. I only got $5 in caps. No, $4. I fucking had to sign a kicker.
Yeah.
I got $4 left. I can't. Probably the cost for Nelly is going to be like $10. I'm betting.
No.
$10? You don't think $10?
No. You can get him for $1 maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I think people. I mean, he was like you said, he was targeted at the end of the game.
Yeah.
He had
eight catches. 8 catches in this one.
Yeah, so I feel like people are going to be looking for him in free agency. Maybe not 10. 10 might have been too steep, but.
You have anything else to add on?
That's it. I just need to say, people that are talking about fucking Wentz, and you need to shut up.
Yeah, shut up. All right, I'll get into takeaway number 2. Kind of have a similar theme. Just early season, things that I'm seeing, things that people should start paying attention to. The San Francisco 49ers are winning the NFC West. I said it at the beginning of the year. They're another team. They're not just 2-0. They're 2-0 on the road. Yes, they beat Tampa Bay. Yes, they beat Cincinnati, but 2-0 on the road is more impressive than 2-0 at home. This man, Kyle Shanahan, if you watch these San Francisco 49er games, he's every bit as smart or smarter than Sean McVay, because what he's doing with this offense is flat out unbelievable. Chad, it does not matter who they plug in at running back. They will be productive. I don't know how he does it. You could plug back, pick a guy at a Walmart, pick out the door greeter, say you're running the outside zone this week. He's going to rush for 100 yards. Matt Breida, 12 carries, 121 yards, 10.1 yards per carry. Raheem Mostert, 13 carries, 83 yards, 6.4 yards a carry. Jeff Wilson, what do you know? Oh, he gets 2 touchdowns too. Outrageous. The running back success that this guy has. Tevin Coleman goes down, no big deal. You could plug in anybody. Kyle Shanahan, he just gets these guys to run for 100 yards. It's unbelievable. These young receivers are starting to come together. Deebo Samuel goes in for a touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, good deep threat, goes in for a touchdown. George Kittle, he's going to get it going. And Chad, this defense is for real. Last year, this San Francisco defense was horrendous. They ranked last in the NFL. They had 2 interceptions all year. So far through 2 weeks, they have 4. They have doubled their interception total of all of last year. They have a real pass rush. Nick Bosa, D Ford. This San Francisco team's for real. And I know they beat up on 2 teams, but they're scary.
Yeah, they should be 3-0 by the end of next week.
Well, they play Pittsburgh this week with no Big Ben, so I would think they should win.
Right. That's what I meant. They should be 3-0 by the end of next week.
Yep. What are your thoughts on San Francisco? I think they're a young team. Maybe they're not ready for like primetime Super Bowl stuff yet, but I think they're good. They're only going to get better.
We're going streaking!
I gotta say, I'm shocked. I really am. I was looking at them. We did our NFC preview, and I said, you know, they're not ready for primetime. They're not going to come out. They're not going to get a playoff spot. But I'm shocked. It looks like they will be. They're at least, and it's one thing to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. You're supposed to beat Tampa Bay.
They're killing teams.
You're supposed to beat, you know, the Cincinnati Bengals. It's one thing to just beat those teams. It's another thing entirely to go in there and beat up on them.
When you drop 41 on anybody, it's good.
Yeah. They put up 30-something against Tampa, too?
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Hey, and Tampa Bay just shut down Carolina.
So I mean, yeah, I think they certainly shocked the hell out of me. I said they were a little bit off, ready for making the playoffs, but they're definitely making a really strong case. I think the ball's in their court right now. If they just from here, if once they beat the Steelers here coming up on Sunday, if they just beat the teams that they're supposed to beat, they should make the playoffs.
It's all happening.
It's all happening.
It's all happening.
I'm telling you this right now. I said it at the beginning of the year. They will go toe-to-toe with the Rams, and they have every opportunity to beat them. And I don't know if they're as good as the Rams roster-wise, but Kyle Shanahan's just as good as Sean McVay, and I think Jimmy Garoppolo is better. And I think this pass rush is good enough to get that bum Jared Goff off the field. I think they're good. I really do.
Yeah. I can't disagree at this point. They're playing good. They're playing good football.
All right. Takeaway number 2 for you, Chad. What do you got?
My second takeaway is about the team that just lost to the Rams. We briefly mentioned there. I got to talk about the Saints. Drew Brees, obviously, we know he's injured. He's out for, 6 to 8 weeks, right?
Yep.
A lot of people are worried about the Saints. I think you shouldn't be worried about the Saints. I think Teddy Bridgewater, he's gonna come in here and he's gonna show why the Saints have kept him around all this time. Even though they got apparently Taysom Hill, who's better than Steve Young, if you believe Sean Payton, but I don't believe that at all. Fuck Taysom Hill. I think Teddy Bridgewater, he didn't look great playing against the Rams, but this is the guy's first action coming in, and he's got to stare down Aaron Donald on the other end. I'm not worried about Teddy Bridgewater. I think there were some plays where he looked good. I think there were some more plays that he looked bad, but I think 1 full week of practice, and Sean Payton's going to have him in a position where he's going to ball out. And I think they're going to be able to at least carry until Drew Brees comes back.
Can I read you the Saints schedule?
Read me the Saints schedule.
All right. So, next, Seattle, tough game. After that, Dallas, tough game. Tampa, winnable. Jacksonville, winnable. Bears, should win. Cardinals, then it's a bunch of Falcons, Bucks, Panthers, Falcons again, 49ers, Colts, Titans, Panthers. Workable-ish schedule, kind of tough in some spots, but it's going to be whether Bridgewater can survive, right? He's got to survive that first 6 weeks. He's got to go 4-2 in those first 6 weeks.
I think he can, man. I think he was put in a tough position. You're coming in and you got to stare Aaron Donald in the eyes. The reigning defensive player in the year. You got to look at him running down the middle of the field, coming to take your head off. I'm not going to lie. I think Bridgewater was shook. I'd be shook too. I think a full week of practice in him. You got Sean Payton paying more attention to Teddy Bridgewater than he ever has in his entire life. I think Payton, he's a great offensive guy. He's going to put him in a position where they're going to be able to win ball games.
I want to say this. The NFC's loaded. Are we sure they're going to make the playoffs? Are we positive? Because at this rate, it looks like Dallas, Philly get in, right? Green Bay's going to win the North. Then you got in the West, the Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, all 2-0. I don't know. Comes down to the South. Can they win the division? Maybe Atlanta sneaks in. I'm going to give you... you're going to think I'm nuts, Chad. I think Tampa Bay could win the division. I really do. I really think Tampa Bay could... You're going to think I'm out of my fucking mind.
Are you stupid or something?
Let me read you their schedule. Giants should win that one. Rams is tough, but Saints is division. Panthers division. Then you got Titans, Seahawks, Cardinals, Saints again, Falcons, Jaguars, Colts, Lions, Texans, Falcons. A lot of gimmies because it's the last place schedule.
Hey, man, it's possible, but what do I know, dude? I picked the fucking Panthers to win this division.
What an idiot.
in our
They're
NFC
fucked.
preview. So
They're totally fucked. Carolina's totally fucked.
yeah, Cam Newton didn't help me with any favors. Way he's been playing.
He's not making it through the year. I don't think he's gonna make it through the year.
You mean he goes down with injury, or you mean they replace him?
Either he goes down with injury or they just shut him down. But by week 17, he will not be the starting quarterback.
I mean, who's their backup? Who do you replace him with?
They just picked Will Greer in the 3rd round. He doesn't look good. I don't know if he's hurt or if he just looks bad. I think he's hurt. He leads the league in uncatchable throws this year.
Yeah, he hasn't looked good. And we said this when we did our NFC preview when I picked the Panthers to win this division. It's all going to come down to Cam.
Yep.
And he has done me no favors with my prediction.
As far as the Saints though, Bridgewater should play better. That's true. However, I don't know, maybe I'm weird and maybe this stuff doesn't matter, but there's a lot of bad juju going around with the Saints. They get screwed on the playoff loss to the Vikings. They get screwed on the playoff loss to the Rams. Then they're all fired up to play the Rams this week, and the refs screwed them again with the defensive call. They should have had a defensive touchdown. The Rams called it, or the refs called it back. That's a lot for a team to handle. Like, this feels like a team. There's a lot of negative energy running around. Like, this is a team that could, Drew Brees is done. They could just crumble. And maybe Bridgewater plays well, but like, I don't know if I can handle that as an athlete. Just keep getting pummeled like this.
Hey man, I think Sean Payton, I think there's two things I'm pretty sure he's good at, and it's calling an offense.
Yep.
And I think he's a good motivator. I know it obviously didn't work because they got screwed by the referees in the playoffs last year, but when they went to the Rams, he wheels out the cart with the Super Bowl bonus on it and the trophy. If you want this, all you got to do is win 2 more fucking games.
Yeah.
I mean, that would get me fired up. I'd be ready to go out there and get a win.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to add on New Orleans, Bridgewater?
Yeah, I think Sean Payton's going to have a hell of a decision to make come November when he has to choose whether or not he sticks with Teddy Bridgewater or whether he goes back to Drew Brees.
Do you think Taysom Hill's going to see the field?
I fucking hope not. Hate him.
Why do you hate him so much?
I don't know. I just can't describe it. Taysom Hill, he's kind of like, I did say this before. He's like fucking Tim Tebow. Like, I hated Tebow because everybody always wanted to talk about how great Tebow was, but no, he was just a tight end pretending to be a quarterback.
I don't know what he is.
That's all Tebow ever was. Tebow was a tight end pretending to be quarterback. That's exactly what Taysom Hill is. Maybe he's a wide receiver, but he's not a quarterback. He's annoying. I hate him. Keep him off the field. No more Taysom Hill. Let's do that. Let's cancel Taysom Hill. Can he send out a racially insensitive tweet or something?
Pause.
I'm so done with Taysom Hill. Maybe not,
right.
maybe not racially insensitive. Maybe he I don't know, something bad, but not makes him an asshole. Something that gets him fired, but he's not unredeemable. Something like that.
Do you have anything else on the Saints? Anything else to add?
No, that's it.
All right. Why are you gonna get so worked up about Taysom Hill, man?
Hey, you asked. All I do is answer the questions.
All right. I got one more, and then maybe you could do some quick hitters. Chad, a lot of people probably don't know this about me. Maybe they do. I have one fatal flaw in life. If I don't believe in something, or if I don't think somebody's capable of doing their job, I just shut it the fuck down. It's a bad fatal flaw of mine. We were both in college, and I couldn't stand our coach, and I just shut it the fuck down. You just weren't getting 100% effort out of me, whether I wanted to or not. I don't know. I just shut down. It just happens.
Oh, you had dance class with me, so you know how I am.
Yeah. I want to say this about Aaron Rodgers. I think he shut it the fuck down last year. I think there was a lot of eye rolling, and he led the league in throwaways. And as long as McCarthy was on that sideline, he was just done.
Why are you the way that you are?
He just. That's it. We're not winning. There's nothing I can do here. I'll see myself out. This year, I like the Aaron Rodgers that we're seeing, Chad. They win that game against Chicago, and he's doing the post-game interview, and Michelle Tavoya is asking him questions, and he just keeps saying, we have a defense. And he's smiling from ear to ear. We have a defense. And this past week, a lot of people made a big deal about him and Matt LaFleur getting into it on the sidelines, but last year that wasn't happening. Because last year he would have looked at Mike McCarthy, he would have rolled his eyes and just walked away. This year, he's going up to Matt LaFleur and he's saying, hey, this should have happened, this should have happened, this should have happened. But he never did that with Mike McCarthy because he was just fucking done. He wasn't having it with Mike McCarthy. He's interacting with Matt LaFleur. He's talking with Matt LaFleur. He's talking with everybody. He's happy about his defense. He's fired up when he speaks to Mike Payton. This is the happiest Aaron Rodgers I've ever seen. And because of that, along with this defense that's much improved, he believes in this team again. And I think they're dangerous.
Anytime you have Aaron Rodgers on a team, I'm gonna say that you can't count him out.
But don't you think this looks like a different Aaron Rodgers? He didn't look like this last year. He's happy.
Well, what I was gonna say is, when it comes to team chemistry, teamwork, whatever you want to call it, you gotta have one voice. That's the head coach. Hey, this is what we're doing. This is how we're gonna do it. Get behind me. Let's go.
They did not believe in Mike McCarthy.
That's where I was going with this. Last year, you got Aaron Rodgers, who's, I was going to say arguably, but he's hands down the best fucking player on your team, changing fucking plays in the huddle because of Mike McCarthy is running Stone Age offense.
He's been running the same offense for 10 years.
His offense hasn't changed since he took over in Green Bay. Hasn't changed. Yeah, it won him a Super Bowl in 2009, or was that 2010? I don't remember exactly which year it was. I think it was 2009.
Something like that.
But dude, that was at this point 10 years ago.
Yep.
The NFL is not the same now as it was in 2009. The same way in 2009, it was not the same as it was in 1999. Fucking Marshall Faulk, running all over the goddamn place. The NFL is constantly changing. Yeah, there's fads that come and go, they come back in, leave, and all that. But it's in the NFL. You got to be able to adapt. Mike McCarthy wasn't. I think you're right. I think Aaron Rodgers was just fed up with it.
Yep.
He just was like, hey man, either I got to go or someone's got to change.
Yep.
Mike McCarthy wasn't going to change. Aaron Rodgers wasn't going to change. He's not going to not stop being a Hall of Famer. Fortunately, the Packers finally saw him like, hey, Mike, your shit stinks. We got to get you out. They brought in Matt LaFleur. So far, Aaron Rodgers hasn't really put up Aaron Rodgers numbers.
Two good defenses, though. Vikings, very legit defense. Bears, probably the best defense in the NFL. I'm not really worried about it. I just like that he's happy. I like that he's interacting.
Yeah, maybe we'll get to see the championship belt come back. That'd be nice. Haven't seen that in a while. When's the last time Aaron Rodgers celebrated anything?
That's a perfect example of, I think Aaron Rodgers shut it the fuck down. Because in the past, he was happy when he was celebrating touchdowns. You're right. I didn't even think about this. When's the last time that fucking guy celebrated a touchdown?
I don't know. That's why I was asking.
That's a great point. I really do. I really think he shut it the fuck down.
Yeah, I don't. I actually just thought about this when we did our NFC preview. I didn't pick the Packers to be a playoff team, and after we recorded it while I was editing it, and I re-listened to it, and I was like, I can't believe I didn't pick the Packers to be a playoff team. I can't believe I didn't pick, that's all I can say. I just can't believe I didn't pick the Packers to be a playoff team.
In fairness, I didn't feel good about it either. When I picked them to win a division, but only because I didn't know what I was getting out of Matt LaFleur. I still don't know what I'm getting out of Matt LaFleur. All I know is his defense looks good. And I know Aaron Rodgers is happy. That's good enough for me.
Yeah,
this is the best defense. This is the best defense he's had since that Super Bowl team.
Right. That's absolutely true. I just think, it's early. A lot could change. Who knows? But I think you're right. I think the Packers are playoff bound. I think they got to be, what are they? Probably top 10 percentage to win the Super Bowl. I would going on Vegas odds. I would imagine.
I don't have that in front of me, but they're one of the few 2-0 teams.
I would have to assume they're up there.
Yeah. You want to do any quick hitters? Wrap it up. Any quick little thoughts? Because there's a ton of things that happened this week.
Yeah, we can.
I'll get like one or two things. So, Minkah Fitzpatrick trade. Pittsburgh Steelers trade a 2020 first-round pick for Minkah Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick obviously wanted out of Miami. Ballsy move. Trade away a first-round pick if you're 2-0 start. What do you make of that?
Well, first of all, I need to pat myself on the back here a little bit because I called this. I don't know if you remember when we did our takeaways from week 1. We were talking about the Dolphins at some point, and I said that Minkah Fitzpatrick was probably one of the players that had requested a trade out of Miami. So I said that before it was actually announced that he was requesting a trade.
You know what? I think I do remember that now.
I wanted to pat myself on the back for that.
Oh, good for you.
This one's tough. For Miami, way to go. I think Minkah Fitzpatrick could have been a piece to build your team around, but hey, who knows? Maybe that Steelers pick turns into something you use to go get the quarterback of your future. Because I don't think it's going to be Josh Rosen. I actually was talking to somebody, a friend of mine on Facebook. She said it was going to be 5 years and the Dolphins were going to be in the playoffs. I said I think it's more like 8 to 10 because they don't have a quarterback yet. So we'll see.
I think this trade comes down to how bad the Steelers are going to be. If the Steelers are a top 5 pick, they royally messed up. Royally messed up. Because I love Minkah Fitzpatrick, but if you're going to get a chance to draft a elite player like Chase Young along with the quarterback, Miami won this deal, but Minkah Fitzpatrick's really good. Chad, last year, Fitzpatrick led the NFL in slot cornerback completion percentage against and passer rating against. He's a really, really good player. Really good player.
True. No, that's absolutely true. I love Minkah Fitzpatrick. When I did my my franchise mode with the Dolphins, he was one of the players I made sure I overpaid when his contract was up. I was like, I need to bring him back. But that being said, man, looking at it from the Steelers' perspective, you got to think they're thinking deep playoff run.
Or they might think Mason Rudolph's the guy. Because if Big Ben's going to be 38 next year, he's already out for the year. Don't you got to think about drafting a quarterback in the first round? Unless they really believe Mason Rudolph's the guy.
I think that's kind of what I mean. You don't make this deal if you don't believe in Mason Rudolph. If you don't, they have to know something we don't know.
I think it's a ballsy move. Don't you want to see him at least? How can you know he's going to be good? He's a third-round pick. He was all right at Oklahoma State, but he didn't blow your doors off. It's not like teams were dying to take this guy in the draft.
Well, they did see him. He got a whole half in against the Texans. He got a whole half in.
This trade's going to either turn into a disaster or it could be smart, but they're going to need to win at least 8 games for it to be smart.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's I was not expecting them to come out and say Minkah Fitzpatrick traded to the Steelers. I mean, it makes sense for the Steelers because how long have they been looking for secondary help?
Yep.
Minkah Fitzpatrick, he can play safety for you, or he could play corner. When he was coming out in the draft, he was graded as one of the top safeties and as one of the top corners in the draft class. I think he was like a top 10 corner, and then he was like the number 1 safety in the draft class.
I compared him to Tyrann Mathieu coming out of the draft. I think he's a chess piece. I think you can do whatever you want with him.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that makes me feel like the Steelers think they can win this year. Make a deep playoff run. Because, like, it's not like they just went out. This is a key piece for them. This is something they've been needing for years.
But by the way, this division, I mean, Cleveland did not look good. I don't care that they beat the Jets by that. They look bad. Mayfield didn't play well. I think they're a mess. And Baltimore's 2-0, but they beat the Cardinals and the Dolphins in their schedule. Their upcoming schedule is real tough. They won the division last year. This is the first place schedules coming up. And Cincinnati's going to be Cincinnati. I don't think they're out of it.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's about it. I don't know. If Anthony Lynn's a fucking idiot, or Tom Telesco, who's ever running the Chargers, how do you not sign a kicker for the week? You let the punter go out there and shank 2 field goals and miss by 3? Unbelievable.
Why is it every year we're talking about kicking issues with the goddamn Chargers?
Every year.
Like it cannot be this hard to find a decent kicker in the NFL.
Every year.
Dude, they need to just go sign Carly Lloyd and get it over with.
Oh, well, last quick hitter. Daniel Jones, new starting quarterback of the Giants. I had a confession this week, Chad. It just hit me. It was like a light bulb. I miss Ben McAdoo.
Why? Why would anyone ever miss Ben McAdoo?
He's the one guy that had the balls to bench Eli Manning and not apologize for it.
Well, Eli Manning got benched this week. He's not playing week 3.
I know, but I'm saying the Giants and Pat Shurmur's acting like, oh, this was a really hard decision. Like, we didn't want to do this. Like, Ben McAdoo's the one guy with the Giants that benched Eli Manning and didn't give a fuck what anybody else said.
Yeah, he let him start the very next week, though.
Yeah, because of all the heat. But I'm saying he at least went out there and benched him, you know? And he didn't care. Like, it feels like Shurmur made this decision because he knows he's getting fired or something.
Shurmur's not going to get fired. He's only his first year.
If Daniel Jones stinks it up, he's getting fired. No, he was there last year.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't remember. All these Giants coaches, they just blend together at this point.
Expectations for Daniel Jones have any? How about Dave Gettleman? After he drafted him, he said he might sit for 3 years. So much for that, huh?
Yeah. Dude, don't even talk about Gettleman. That guy has no clue. Like, just talk about not getting it. Dude, David Gettleman. He might literally be the dumbest person ever.
I don't trust that guy to cross the street.
If they gave him the wonder look, he'd probably score a -50.
I don't trust him to cross the street. I really don't.
Yeah, I no expectations for Daniel Jones. He's gonna suck.
All right, Chad.
The one thing, this might be good for Saquon Barkley, whereas Eli Manning didn't have a completion until like the third quarter against the Bills. Daniel Jones has to be an upgrade over Eli Manning, right? Yeah. He can't be worse.
Probably.
So that might if you have Saquon in fantasy, this might be your best friend having Daniel Jones come in.
All right, Chad. That's about does it for me. Just a couple quick things to end it up.
Yeah, that'll about wrap up the show for both of us because I don't really have anything else left either. So that being said, don't forget to give us a follow on Twitter, Vendetta_media. Give us a like on Facebook, VendettaSportsMedia.com. Do not, and I repeat, do not forget to go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like all the videos on the YouTube channel. Comment on the videos because that helps with the Facebook algorithm. Or so I'm told. I don't know for certain, but Just get in there and be on YouTube with us. Don't forget to follow Trey on Twitter at Trey Daubert, TreyDaubert. Follow me on Twitter at Lilfooted, LILFOOTED. Other than that, thanks for giving us a listen, and we'll see you next week.